Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Listen, I am having a hard time with how I want to do this video because I am so incredibly humbled by not only what's in this box, but who sent it and, all of the effort and expense that went into sending it to me. I'm not going to fully identify who it was other than to say is a gentleman by the name of Bill, who is a expert in the field of mastering records and in general history of physical media recording going back decades. I received this today completely out of the blue. Did not expect it. It was at the post office box. Went over there expecting to find a bunch of bills. Found some bills, but then also found a key in my box to one of the bigger boxes, and in there was this. I am so humbled and so thankful and so grateful that I can't even tell you. To begin with, this envelope, I'm not going to open it. It has a letter inside from Bill, and not just a letter, but multiple pages of fascinating information, not only about what's in this box, but also about 45s and records and the history therein. Just fascinating stuff. So Bill, thank you very much. I have written to you, and just thank you. For the rest of you, check this out. This is so sick. You're gonna be knowing me, you're gonna be like understanding why I'm this enthused. So to begin with, this is really cool. This is like a record dealer, record retailer booklet. And by the way, there's so much information in here. I have a lot of research to do. But apparently this is a very rare booklet for record dealers, or was back in 1949. And this is a recreation. Apparently there was one at a trade show, an actual copy, and somebody took pictures and from that recreated this. And Bill had a copy of the copy. So he shared this with me. Some amazing artwork. Let's just go ahead and look through this a little bit. You can't tell that this is a copy. I mean, it's sharp as can be. And these are from photographs. I guess this whole thing is from photographs. Like even like the dirt and grime and the staples from the original. But look how clear the text looks. It is phenomenal. I mean, I've tried taking pictures of book pages and they've never turn out like this. I just want to show you a couple parts of this, not the whole thing, but look at this. Look at this. And Bill is specifically an expert in 45s and told me so much, and this really underscores a lot of that. Just fascinating. There are the multicolored 45 records for different genres. I've got some red ones, and I think Peter, aka Fardamark, gave me one of the blue ones. So very interesting. A lot of information to pour over. And again, I'm just kind of like, my wife's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm just like, I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless. Just so grateful, so humbled. When I saw this is about the time when my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, this is so special. Now, everybody has their holy grail items in vinyl collecting, record collecting, media. Everybody has that one thing that they are always looking for. And for me, it's this. This is the Glenn Miller Limited Edition Volume 1. I have not opened this. Now, I've seen Volume 1 in boxes, but I have never seen it in this case, or in this, whatever you call it, album. So I have not opened this up yet. So I have obviously opened the box. I know it's in here, but I haven't opened these individual items. I wanted to save that for the show. Oh, look at that. So beautiful. Sort of like a leatherette material, designed to be put on the bookshelf. Gold foil inlay. It's puffy. There are the records. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that, how it's spiral bound with metal spirals. I just love this stuff. And hopefully, if you are a Glenn Miller collector, as am I, you'll be geeking out hardcore. Look at this. Limited edition, number 151. If you're not a Glenn Miller fan, I'm assuming you can still understand the importance of this and why it is so special. Oh, gosh, it's so awesome. Look at this. The REPs. Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous record. These were released in a number of different label variants. Absolutely beautiful. But I did not know that Volume 1 existed in this form factor. I knew Volume 2 did, but I didn't know Volume 1 did. And speaking of Volume 2. Oh boy. Then I saw this. And now Volume 1, not in that form that we just looked at, but you can find it if you're looking for it and you know what you're looking for. It can be found, although in that condition and in that iteration, I've never seen it. So that's probably pretty rare. Volume 2, you don't find. And if you do find it, it's expensive. And he sent me this too. I can't believe it. By the way, this photograph is used in other releases. We have an LP release that uses that photograph. What's really cool about Volume 1 and 2 is it's primarily radio material, and the Glenn Miller Orchestra was very well known to be pretty hip, pretty jumping, pretty active musical outfit, especially on the radio. In their studio recordings, they're a lot more toned down, but in the live recordings, it's a different band almost. So that's what's really exciting about these. You'll see that where these were recorded and when, and they're mostly the radio material recordings, which are rarer. They're harder to find. The metal parts, the original metal parts for all of this stuff is known to people who know. The people that are involved in maintaining the story and legacy of Glenn Miller know. They're contained. I'll just tell you, the studio stuff is primarily existing at a place called Iron Mountain. It's a document shredding company. They also do document archiving. But the Iron Mountain, which is an actual Iron Mountain in Pennsylvania, is where most of the Sony legacy material exists, including what's left of the studio stuff. They are in a bad state of disarray. So the 1991 studio Glenn Miller set, the RCA box set, complete set, while not perhaps the best remastering compared to other iterations that have come since, it is the only complete one. And those tapes were made off of those metal parts back in the late 70s for the original LP release of those Glenn Miller complete collection. I have one of those. I have all of them on digital and on a CD as well, but I have one of the vinyl versions of it. Anyway, even when they did the tape archiving of those materials back in the late 70s, they were deteriorating. Some of them, there's a couple now that don't even exist. They had to use a couple commercial pressings. Oh, cool. I love the Victor label on this. These are just beautiful. Just phenomenal. The NBC transcription discs, a lot of them are also at Iron Mountain in Pennsylvania. Glenn hired an agency to record a lot of his material for his own use, which is pretty common back in those days. And so a lot of the radio material exists because of those masters. And like I said, Sony does have some of the NBC masters still. There's a lot of private collector stuff out there. It's a very deep and interesting world for the Glenn Miller fan. This is phenomenal. I cannot believe I'm holding this in my hands. This is so amazing. And see, for me, I'm not just going to stick this on a shelf. I am going to do that, but I'm not just going to stick it on a shelf. I'm going to listen to these and enjoy them and love them and take care of them and clean them. I sound crazy, like I'm talking about a stuffed animal or something, but to me, it's such a big deal. It's a big deal. I can't begin to say thank you enough to Bill for all of this. It gets deeper, literally and figuratively. Now, before I go to the next level, about those recordings. So there is a lot of material out there, and when you get deep catalog on Glenn Miller, you go from commercial recordings, the top 10 hits that everybody's heard, to the deep catalog stuff. Oops, sorry. And then you get to the Army Air Force stuff. When Glenn was in the service, he did a lot of things. It's a very interesting story. And that material is a little bit harder to come by. It can be found, but the holy grail of Glenn Miller Army recordings until the mid-90s, when the Bill Polak collection was restored and released on the RCA Bluebird collections, the secret recordings, and the lost recordings, the secret broadcasts. Up until then, the holy grail for Glenn Miller military music was this set right here. Now, my jaw had already dropped, and I was sitting in stunned silence, and then I get to this, and I cannot believe I'm holding this. I have been looking for this for years. I'm almost emotional. I am emotional about it. This set right here represents not only Glenn's dedication to the Allied war effort and to the freedoms that we have to this very day. He was lost. For those of you that don't know, his plane was lost, and if you want to learn more about that, read Dennis Sprague's book, Glenn Miller Declassified. It was not friendly fire. A lot of people think that the returning RAF bombers dropped a payload on the way back over the English Channel. That was not the case. That theory is disproven in Dennis's book, as are the numerous falsities about all kinds of conspiracy theory BS. It was a very simple matter of a plane icing up over the channel. But anyway, I digress. Gosh, this is beautiful. I can't believe I have all three of these now. Anyway, this material is priceless. I've never even seen this in my life. Look at this. Happy birthday to Jean from Sue and Paul, September 17th, 1957. Now, Glenn Miller fever was at an all-time fever pitch in the 1950s, due not only to the fact that his music lived on. Oh, that's awesome. But also to the fact that the Glenn Miller movie came out in 1954 that kind of stirred it up again and got everybody thinking about Glenn Miller. Oh, this is awesome. Johnny Desmond over there on the left. And one thing about Glenn's story that's amazing, this I think is the last, that's the last picture of Glenn before he passed away. I think that was, or went missing, I should say, a day or two, literally, before he passed away. He volunteered for all this. He was a wealthy man. He was very successful and walked away from all of it in order to serve his country. And then it wasn't enough just to, make music stateside. He fought his way to be overseas. And as the front lines advanced into France, as we, pushed back the Axis powers, he wanted to be on the very front line so he could bring that peace, that calm, that touch of home to all of those guys on the front line. This video is getting long, so I'm going to wrap it up. From an aesthetic standpoint, the Glenn Miller military music has the addition of a full string section, so it sounds completely different. There's compositions in there that you can't get anywhere else. And here are the records themselves. Beautiful Black Label Victors. Let's pull one out here. I will be listening to all of this starting today and just absorbing everything. These look like they're in fantastic condition. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, couple more quick things here in the box. This box is a treasure, absolute treasure. So he gave me a lot of digital materials to read and watch as well, specific to the format war and the evolution of and prominence of the 45 RPM format. So a lot of stuff to look at there and read and listen to, and even a thumb drive with more material. So I am blown away, Bill. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To everybody else, thank you for watching this video. And I just appreciate each and every one of you so very, very much, much more than you probably realize. So that's going to do it for today. That's enough. I am incredibly humbled. So thank you all, especially Bill, and everybody have a great day. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you tomorrow.